say skill or be real. You'll never reap the benefits of talents if you're still on the real. Get rid of all that vanity grill. See success, it needs an insanity.
My main dream when I started off in the entertainment business was acting. I knew that from when I was at school. I wanted to take it seriously, so I took drama classes outside school, did my drama GCSEs, and then I applied to go to the Brit School of Performing Arts. Yeah, my dream has shifted slightly because now I own Writers Avenue Theatre Company. I also own Writers Avenue Films. So for me, through owning those companies, I've been producing, writing and acting, and I love all three quite equally. It means I get to do what I want to do. For me, my dream is more of a case of having a successful career with my companies and achieving what I want to do within them. What's great is that I do get to act. I've performed in theatres, Soho Theatre, before you'd need your agent to sort of get you to perform somewhere like that. That's something I've managed to do myself. I've also managed to have pieces of work performed at Soho Theatre, which was for me a great achievement, and produce work there. My first dream came through was having a company. Having a company was something I'd always thought about. I always thought about, I wonder what it'd be like to run a theatre company. I wonder how I would do it. And, always in the back of your mind, and then to actually do it. For me, that was a really dream number one sort of achieved, because running a company is very tough. It takes a lot of work. And most people give up within a short space of time because it takes so much work and you've only got so many hours in the day, or because it's very difficult to sort of get people to respond to it positively, or get the people on board, or get people to say yes to helping you out. So for me to be able to do that and not only have events on that people enjoy, but events that people appreciate, and to have industry respond very positively. For me, that was something I was trying to do just as an actress, to get to know industry more. I've managed to do that myself without an agent, and I took a step of leaving my agent in order to pursue running my company, simply because my agent at the time was quite demanding, and I kind of thought, well, I'm not seeing who I want to see. Maybe I should actually take some time to really focus and take some steps to achieve what I want to achieve without any restrictions. I'd always been told that it's a very tough industry. I know being a female makes it even tougher sometimes. Being a black female can be even tougher, and depending what your goals are, for example, if you want to work in film, we know the film industry is rarely in America. So I knew that it would be very, very tough. And I think it's important to know that, because you see some people, they graduate from drama school, within a year they've given up, and that's usually because their expectations were somewhere else. They heard about a story about someone getting into Lord of the Rings after drama school or something, and they thought that was going to be them. That's one in a million. That's a chance thing. You've got to kind of expect to be grinding it through, and hopefully with each year you're progressing. If you thought you was going to have an Oscar after a year, then, well, that's lucky for you, but it's highly unlikely for most. So I think it's a case of knowing that it's tough, and knowing that you have to work hard to get to where you want to be, and that sometimes is a little bit of who you know. There's loads of talented people, and you think, why haven't they made it when they're so talented? And it's sometimes just the opportunity coming up at the right time, and the right person seeing them at the right time. There's a lot of factors in it, and the fact that a bit of luck plays a part of it, but also a lot of how much you're willing to put into it, going the extra mile. Because if you know that a bit of luck is involved, you almost have to make sure that luck happens. Apart from the obvious things like acting, the tough thing of getting auditions and getting to be seen, and that's really difficult for everybody overall. I mean, that's tough. But the other tough thing is working in the industry is you have to have such a thick skin and such self-belief, and it is always tough to. You may already have that, but the tough thing is sustaining that for long periods of time. You really have to work at it to keep that thick skin and believe that you're capable of doing something, and believe that someone's eventually going to say yes. It's always tough to put yourself out there, for one. I mean, when I decided I was going to start a theatre company, you're putting yourself out there already. That's a tough thing to begin something new, hope that people are going to come and see it, hope that people are going to enjoy it, hope that the person you invite is going to say, yeah, I'll come along. But it is a journey, and it is something you learn from a lot, especially when you do something by yourself, because you're your own person. You decide what you're going to do. when I first started with Writers Avenue, the theatre company, the first thing I thought was, well, I need to reach out, I need to get these scripts in. How am I going to do that? I had to learn to be a business person, learn not just to work back, to learn, think about it as a business. That is tough because I didn't go to business school, you know. And when you're deciding to produce something or have your own company within the entertainment industry, you really have to give yourself as much knowledge as possible and have sort of a 5-year plan of what you want to do. I think my first highlight was definitely when I just produced my first play. That was something I'd never done in my life before. Absolutely had no idea about producing. Had to learn about it from scratch, learn, you know, what the stage manager would do, how to get the actors on board. And when, it was only on a very small theatre, but when it was on, like the first performance, it was the first time I actually realised like what I had done, because you're so busy working. And then after it was done, and the response was so positive from the audience, and you know, got a good round of applause, and everyone stood up, and I kind of thought, oh my gosh, I created that. That was a massive highlight, to feel like actually I had nothing, and I created something. I wrote a play. It could have stayed on the page, but it's got on its feet. It had really, really good, talented actors, and to have it appreciated by the audience. And each night, you know, the seats were full. And even after it was done, when I went back to the area, someone said, "Did you do that play that was on so and so month?" Yeah, and I said, "I really loved it." And that was a highlight. Just to have someone in a pub say, "Was you the person who did that play?" You know, didn't work in the industry. Just feeling like someone who doesn't work in the industry just sat and enjoyed a play. I think some good advice that would have been really helpful before I came into the industry would have been, don't limit yourself. If someone had sort of said, don't limit yourself. If one door's not working, try the other, or you know, create your other opportunities. There's more than one route, basically. Because obviously I started off, I was acting. I kind of thought like there was only one route to being acting, which is, of course, you get the agent, drama school, get the auditions. But then you kind of think, well, what if that's not working for you? What do you do? You know, it would have been. I would have wished someone had said, you know what, you can do your own thing. It would have been nice to sort of maybe started the companies a lot sooner, some years earlier, and I probably would have if I had some kind of guidance in that area. I think there's always a fear that, you know, you shouldn't try something in case you're not good, but how do you know unless you do it? So I think that's a kind of a good advice that I wish I had sooner, was try producing and writing at the same time as you're advancing your acting career, because that can also open the doors for you to start exploring what you want to do, and play a range of characters you want to play as well. That's quite important. If you're someone who's acting, you might keep getting limited to the same roles or very small roles. If you're writing, you can create that role. If you're producing, you can decide what project you're gonna do. So you can open up a range of things, and it means you're always doing something, always creative. You're always busy. You're always proactive. I think that advice is really, really important, because you can sort of get lost in your day job and try to balance everything. Or if the phone's not ringing for an audition, I think if you've got other stuff going on, you don't actually realise the phone's not ringing. You're too busy with something else that's doing well, and those other things will start to fall into place anyway. I've never really felt like quitting. I don't think in my heart I could, simply because I feel like it's really in my soul. Like, you know, if you're a creative person, there's nothing else you enjoy doing, and you try and imagine yourself doing other jobs, which I've done other jobs, and you're thinking, oh my God, I think I'd be miserable. You know, I think I'd actually be miserable. So for me, quitting has never really been an option. It's more of a case of evolving. I've always thought about evolving, which is very, very different. And you should never worry if you want to quit one thing for the other thing either. I don't worry what anyone's thinking, what I'm doing. My path is my path at the end of the day. No one's going to live my life for me. But no, I've definitely had days where I'm just thinking, God, this industry is just too tough. It's just too much, and feel quite exhausted by it. I think a lot of people have gone that. I think when you're having that period, like having a week, a really bad week, the reason why you carry on is because you have to really think about your life beyond years ahead, and what you'd actually enjoy doing career-wise, what would actually make you happy. I'd say the key to making it in the industry is having self-belief, self-belief, a goal and a plan. I think if you've got those three things, you'll always be on your way. If you don't believe in yourself, if you've got doubt, that will hold you back. It will always stop you from doing something or trying something. You've got to be really good at shutting other people off and not worrying about what other people think, I think that can actually hold you back from reaching your goal, worrying about what other people's opinions are going to be. If you believe a lot in yourself, other people's opinions don't really matter. All that matters is what you think of yourself. You have to know what that is first and foremost. You've got to sort of imagine if those people weren't around you, what would you think? And if you have self-doubt, you have to ask yourself, why have you got self-doubt? What is it? Is it if you feel you're not good enough, then do what you need to do to be good enough. Don't wing it. Don't wing your career, basically. Have a plan. Always have a plan. Always have a goal. See your future, I'd say. See your future. See what you will be doing in 10 years' time. See it. If you can't even imagine it, why bother? You might stay at home, because why try work towards something if you can't even imagine yourself being in that position in the first place? So you have to keep saying to yourself, that is what I'm going to get eventually.
Kill or be killed, I say skill or be real. You'll never reap the benefits of talents if you're still on the real. Get rid of all that vanity grill. See success, it needs an insanity feel. Look at your life, who decides? Yes, you make decisions, swallow your pride, scuba dive, jump into position, see the signs, just do a right course up in your mission, you and I.